And we're live. It's the Revved Up 906 podcast, a Detroit Pistons podcast to be exact. And I'm Ryan. In today's game, we lose to the Portland Trail Blazers with a final score of 110 to 104. This game started off very cold for us. We were down on a 10-0 run for Portland there, and it wasn't looking pretty. But then the second quarter hits. We're starting to get into a groove. Third quarter, we were in a groove a little bit, but not really. But just the second half alone, the fourth quarter alone, we were on top of things. We saw Isaiah Livers post a season high of 17 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Very, very solid night from him. The best by far in a while, honestly. And then we saw Bagley, 10 points, 8 boards, 1 assist, 2 blocks. It was a quiet outing for him compared to what he's been recently, but I'm still at the end of the day, we're still gonna take 10 points, 8 boards. It's not a bad game. James Wiseman, 12 points, 7 boards, 3 blocks. He did foul out, and the foul that was called on him to get him out of the game was a elbow to Dame's head. And replay when they showed the replay, it did not look like Wiseman intentionally did it. And I don't think Wiseman actually knew he did it. So to see him go out of the game from that, it's more of like, dang, that sucks. But at the end of the day, Portland was game planning to get him out of the game. And so I'm not surprised that he went out the way he did. We saw Ivy have a double-double. Very good for him. 13 points, 13 assists, 1 steal, 5 rebounds. Very solid night for him. He did not shoot the ball like incredibly well. He was 4 of 14 from the field, over 7 from 3, but he did make his free throws. He went 5 for 5 at the line. That's very solid. I'll take it. Alec Burks, 13 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Alec Burks, again, having a good solid night. He's a great vet. This is what he does. Our bench play, though, somebody that I'm really pleased with is RJ Hampton. We covered him and what we expect from him going forward with our team. This past Saturday, we posted that video. Go make sure to go check it out. It's a good one. But yeah, RJ Hampton, he had 5 steals. Like, he's diving all over the floor. He's making plays. He's saving loose balls. Like, that's what you want out of a guy like him, who's coming in with really no expectations, really, other than just to go out there and play basketball. And he's really doing a very solid job. He doesn't have to go out there and drop 20 a night, 15 a night, and be like a Cade Cunningham or a Jaden Ivey or even an Alec Burks. He's his own guy. And so the fact that he's going out there and doing a little bit of everything, working his tail off, just eating up the box score in every stat, it's very appreciative. You can really appreciate a player like that because there's not a lot of guys that do that, especially on our team. Outside of Hampton on our team, you have Hami who does that. You have Livers who does that. But I mean, Ivy from time to time will do it. Burks from time to time will do it. Corey Joseph from time to time will do it. But that's about it. We don't have a lot of guys who commit to going all over the place to make the plays. And the fact that Hampton's already taking that lead into that path is very, very good to see. We saw Corey Joseph light up the box score, 14 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, and a steal. Corey Joseph was our facilitator tonight. He was doing things that we haven't seen from him in a while, but you can appreciate it because he was a lead man in making our comeback and to being what the final score was at 110 to 104. So you can really appreciate our vets stepping up the way they did. Hami had a quiet night, finished with 9 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. He did have a quiet night. He played 27 minutes. So considering how many minutes he played and considering his stat line tonight, yeah, I'm still gonna take it, but it's it's nothing spectacular. He he's he was cold tonight. He just hasn't done what he's done recently of 14 plus points a game. We saw Jared Rhoden make an appearance. Even though he played 6 minutes, he was doing the little things. He was making hustle plays, getting rebounds. He had that putback earlier off his own shot to end the quarter. He was just doing the right thing, and so for me with him, he I think he has a possibility, not like anything through the roof or anything, but I see a possibility where he could be a good key role player for us going forward because he's the perfect size for our team. He does the little things. He works his tail off. He knows how to make the right plays at the right time for a young player like him. And that's what you can really appreciate out of a guy that really hasn't had many opportunities in the league so far. So I'm really pleased with his game tonight, given his 6 minutes. We saw Eugene Umurui make an appearance with 3 minutes. He had the 2 points, had the two free throws. He came in late. So with that, it's like we were making a run late. We're coming close to tying up the game, and Casey throws in Eugene Umurui in. And it's like, wait a minute. You're throwing a guy who's on a 10-day contract into the game and it's late and we have a chance to win. You must really trust him. And so it was very nice to see him come in. And yeah, he did seem lost at times, but that's what you can expect out of anyone on at least a 10-day contract or very little experience at this level like he has. And so at times you could tell he's like, "Oh shoot, am I doing this the right way?" But he slowly got used to it and worked his way into it. And so he for what we've seen out of him so thus far, I'm not complaining. I'm not expecting anything more, but I'm fine with what it is. But our team this year, we have no issues scoring at times, but at other times we do. And you see that at the beginning of games. So we start out very, very cold usually at the beginning of the games. And then we come in hot towards the end, which it's nice to come in hot towards the end because then you have more competitive outcomes and a closer game at the end. And that's always fun to watch. And it's good for us fans. But at the same time, you in order to win in this league, you need to compete every quarter. You have to. And so when you don't and you start off very cold and then you make a late game comeback towards the end there, yeah, you're gonna lose most likely. But it just happens. And when you're playing a team like Portland, it's much harder too, because you have Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard had a triple double tonight. He had a very, very solid night. He didn't have 71 points, which is good. We don't want him dropping 71 on us. That would be terrible. But he had a triple double, which still hurts. And so he's a key factor for Portland on any given night, unless he's out. And so the fact that we kind of held him to a little below his average in total points is very nice to see. He was doing his thing in the first half, but then in the second half, it was Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant came back to Detroit, had a very solid game. He finished with, let me see here, he finished with 26 points, 6 rebounds, an assist, a steal, 3 blocks. He had a solid night. He played 40 minutes. You knew he was going to play that much just because he's like, yeah, I want my revenge on the Pistons kind of thing. Even though he doesn't seem like that player sometimes, but he did make a comment to our bench after hitting a three late in the game. So you can always see something like that happening and taking place. But I think going forward, we really need to uh, work on our offensive chemistry because we have all the potential in the world to be one of the higher scoring teams in the league. When you have Bojan, when you have Ivy, when you have Wiseman even. When you have all these offensive weapons, you have chances to be one of the higher scoring teams in the league. We just need to work together more often because there were stretches and times in the game where Corey Joseph passes it to Hami, and then Hami's like, you know what? I'm just taking this and doing my thing. And it's like, wait a minute, dude, slow down a bit. Play as a team. Playing as a team wins games. There's no I in team. So when I see that happening, it's like, oh, there's another mistake. And at times, if Hamidou Diallo was Damian Lillard, I'd be like, okay, I'm fine with that a little bit. But if it's Hamidou Diallo just as himself, he can go to the rim whenever he wants, pretty much. But at the same time, he's not as skilled as more offensive players are. And so when he takes the game into his hands and he does one of those things where he's trying to drive to the rim, get the and one, it's like, dude, you're not going to get it every time, but I appreciate your effort. And I'm not trying to nitpick certain guys, but I did see that tonight because there was the time in the game where Corey Joseph hands the ball off to Hami to set up a play, and then Hami just takes it in immediately to the rim. And he did go to the free throw line out of that, which is good, but it's like you could tell Corey Joseph and others around him were questioning, like, dude, we're trying to set up a play here. Why are you going and doing that? And so that just goes back to our offensive chemistry. If our offensive chemistry can improve, I see us taking a big step, but with very little games left in the season, it's kind of hard to set up a good offensive chemistry or chemistry at all throughout the team when you're throwing in new guys left and right and your guys, more majority of your key players are injured. We were without Duran, Stu, Bojan. Three of our key starters, Killian was out. So we were missing a lot of guys tonight. And a lot of guys that normally don't play had to step up more. And so it's kind of hard to fill the void of this difference in chemistry when you don't have your guys around you. And so it's kind of hard to play off each other when you haven't played consistent minutes together as a team. And so if we just fix that, hopefully by our next game, I don't know if it'll happen or not, but I hope it does. But if it does, we can see the little improvements day in and day out, and that'll be good for us going forward. Shaden Sharp, 21 minutes, 6 points, 3 rebounds. He's the kind of guy where it's like he's very explosive, very explosive, one of the most explosive players in the league. And so when you limit explosive players, that's very good. We really did lock down their guys outside of Lillard and Grant. We made them play team basketball, which gave us an opportunity to win late. But we can't follow through when you have Damian Lillard doing his thing and Jeremy Grant doing his thing. It just won't happen. So outside of focusing on making sure our chemistry is better on offense, we also need to focus on the little things on defense. Tonight, we only had 16 turnovers, which is very good. That's very good for us, given what our usual is. And then we only had the 21 fouls, which is our average at fouls is 22 and a half. So we were still below it, but we didn't send them to the line a lot, which is actually good. So in those two categories alone, we're slowly getting better, and you can see that, and it's very good to see. But outside of those two things, if we're struggling on offense, we can't win games, and that's what it comes down to. Because this league, the way it's going right now, it's very much a scoring league. But I want to see defensive teams win because defense wins championships, making free throws wins championships, and obviously scoring wins championships. But defense is the big key in this. A defensive team can take down a scoring team. You just got to learn how to limit certain guys. And if we take out Damian Lillard out of this equation, and we're just playing against Jeremy Grant and the rest of the Trailblazers, I think we can get the win. if we're limiting Jeremy Grant and it's just Damian Lillard, I think we can win. We got to take Batman or Robin out. You got to take one of the two out. And that's like the same with like Milwaukee as an example, one of our rivals in our division. If you take out Giannis, you have to watch out for Chris Middleton. If you take out Chris Middleton, you have to watch out for Giannis. And so there's almost every team in the league has a dynamic duo right now. And so if we improve defensively and lock down those two guys rather than trying to lock down one of them and let the other do their thing, that'll make a big difference in our defensive impact. But yeah, honestly, today was a solid game for us. I didn't see too many issues, but other than our offensive chemistry being a little down and then limiting their key guys. If we limit key guys, we'll have a better opportunity to win. And that'll do it for today's recap. Again, the final score was Portland 110, Detroit 104, and we will catch you on the flippity flip. Peace.